mudnayd adaa maraye.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. waxay noo soo socday inuu soo bilowno insha allah casharadeenna infantryga ah chapterkeena afraad nonmetaliska aynu soo bilownay aynu ka soo sheegaynay markaa nonmetaliska curyaha ugu horeeyana wuxuu ahaa hydrogenta markaa waxaynu ka soo oranay propertyga lahayd isticmaalkeega ansoo inay ka duwaneed curyaasha kale marka loo eego oo lahayd metallic characteristics iyo non-metallic characteristics inay lahayd baynu soo sheegnay taana waad xasuunaan doontaan insha allah. waxaynu markaa inoogu soo dambeysay useskeega abuu ahaa oo laba isticmaalo ugu badnaa baynu soo sheegnay and today waxaynu eegi doonaa insha allah how can a pure hydrogen gas be prepared and detected. 2 points are be combined in here for this topic of today will be composed of 2 things that have been related to the hydrogen. The 2 points will be the prepared of pure hydrogen and detected pure hydrogen. Okay, pure hydrogen. It means hydrogen that's present, it is alone. Hydrogen that does not combine it with other elements. Okay, pure hydrogen, prepared and detected that it's a pure or combined with another elements. That's what we are going to study today. Inshallah, follow is it. So the first things you need to remember will be that you do not forget our previous uses and properties of hydrogen ions. As we have already mentioned, hydrogen has 2 characteristics like other elements that are included in the periodic table. Okay, it's so more different, or it is obviously different from the elements that are present in periodic table because it is not including the periodic table in any site or any sections. It is out of the periodic table. That's why it has 2 characteristics. It means it has 2 properties, metallic properties and non-metallic properties. For today, we will look for somehow how to prepare it and detect it. So hydrogen can be made by reaction of any active metals. If we're going to prepare and detect that hydrogen is pure or non-pure, you will make hydrogen by reaction of any active metals. An active metals, it means according to reactivity series, metals can be classified reactive metals and non-reactive metals. So if we combine a compound, if hydrogen is bonded, if hydrogen is already being combined with, or it's present in a compound, and you put for that compound with active metals or one of the active metals, also pure hydrogen will be formed or will be made. Made means form. So hydrogen can be made by reaction of any active metal or any active metals like magnesium or zinc. If you have magnesium or if you have a zinc with strong acid, means if the hydrogen is including strong acid and you put one of this element, hydrogen will be displaced from the reaction, from the acid, and hydrogen pure will be out of the reaction or out of the compound with its purity. So with that acid, will be including sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid. If you have sulfuric acid, there is an hydrogen that are present already, and if you have hydrochloric acid, there is a hydrogen that is already present. And if you put one of the above metals, hydrogen will be displaced for this reaction, and hydrogen pure will be gained. For example, now you have for this hydrochloric acid, and you add it magnesium. Magnesium is active metal. So the goal that you are add for this compound or this sulfuric hydrochloric acid with magnesium will be to produce pure hydrogen elements from its compound or from its strong acid. So in here you have severe, you have an hydrochloric acid which is liquid. Aqueous means aqueous. Aqueous means aqueous, liquid, or means water. And you have in here for what? A solid. Magnesium, which is solid. You combine it for this two. This compound and this element, you are combined. So this arrow will be indicates that the reaction is being completed. So the reactant, the product will be magnesium chloride plus hydrogen molecule. So this hydrogen is now what? This hydrogen is pure hydrogen elements because it is not including for the compound. It's displaced from the reaction. So in here you see the location or the original location of hydrogen is binding with oxygen. Is binding with, sorry, what's so called magnesium. Magnesium is binding the side that or the place that hydrogen is binding with a chlorine. So if the hydrogen is being removed from this original side and magnesium binding with the side of hydrogen, we call that magnesium is displaced with hydrogen, and hydrogen pure elements are prepared and detected, right? Are prepared and detected, right? Since hydrogen gas is almost insoluble in water, hydrogen, as we have already mentioned in our previous lectures, we mentioned that hydrogen gas is almost insoluble in water. If you have an hydrogen is insoluble. Hydrogen means will not dissolve in water completely. It's not dissolved in water completely. But the reaction of oxygen and reaction of water with hydrogen are so obviously different. If hydrogen and oxygen are combined together, water is being produced. But if water already is being produced and hydrogen gas is going to put for this compound, the reaction will not take place. No any reaction will take place, right? So hydrogen is insoluble. Hydrogen means does not reacted with or does not mixing with what's called water. It can be collected. If you're going to want to collect hydrogen, can be collected by the displacement of water. You can remove it from the water means with addition of other elements. Okay, with addition of other elements for displacement reaction of waters. Right. So hydrogen gas is recognized. Hydrogen gas is recognized the PEP zone, the zone that's being produced after hydrogen is take part or after hydrogen is bound with another compound or other element. So hydrogen gas is recognized. If the hydrogen is gas or is not a gas, you recognize means you will identify the PEP zone, the type of zone that it produced when it bonds with other elements. So hydrogen is highly flammable. Highly flammable. Highly flammable. Highly flammable means highly painful. It produces a flame. It produces a flame, and the zone is being produced also, and that's the reason you recognize this. So there is another thing that could be remembered during the study of this and hydrogen, and that will be hydrides. Okay, that will be hydrides. Hydrides. Hydrides are what? Hydrides, as the name indicates, there is an hydrogen present in for this. Hydride means hydrogen. Hydrides, they are combo. These are combo. As the name indicates, these are plural. Hydrides, they are combos. Okay, they are combos. More than two or more elements that are combined together by the presence of any type of bond. Okay, they are a compound formed by metal and hydrogen. So hydrides are a compound that's being formed by the presence of what? Metal and hydrogen. After metal and hydrogen are present, the compound that is being formed is called hydrides. The compound that is being formed is called hydrides, in which the hydrogen gas has the oxidation number of -1. Because of hydrogen now is treated or is behave like non-metals. Okay, if the hydrogen treats like non-metals, it's going to lose for this outer. It's going to gain for this one electron that's missed for this outer shell electron. So oxidation number, you remember our chapter which is called electrolysis, and we calculated already what's so-called oxidation numbers. Their name consists of two words. The name of hydride consists of two words. Okay, the name hydride consists of two words, two statements. Okay, two words. The first word is the name of metals. Okay, you call the name of metals. First, you call the name of metals. First name will be the name of metals. The first word is the name of metals. Okay, the first word is the name of metals. Followed, you'll follow for the first name by the term hydride. Instead of saying hydrogen, you will follow the term hydride. So instead of hydride, most common ones are calcium hydride, or calcium hydrogen. Now it exists as a molecule, so these two will come from what's so called the valence of calcium. So that two will be put in here, and here is so plus, it's put in here, so if the charges are different, you will make crisscross. The second example will be including what's so called sodium hydride, aluminum hydride, magnesium hydride. Okay, magnesium hydride. So first you naming the name of metal, and then followed by the term of hydrides. So hydride, you will not say hydrides. So hydrides will be metal and hydrogen that are combined together. So the next element will be nitrogen. Okay, the next element will be nitrogen. The second element will be nitrogen element. Nitrogen is a non-metal element that are present in periodic table. It's group 5. So this is what we are specifically talk or study for its properties, and also the nitrogen cycle and its properties. Nitrogen is odorless, okay, and colorless. There's no any color that indicates it is an hydrogen or not hydrogen. Odorless. Also, there is no smelling. Unreactive gas, mostly unreactive gas, and we cannot survive without it. There is no life without hydrogen. There's no life without nitrogen elements. Constantly, it circulates between the air. Soil, and living things. It circulates between the three things: air, soil, living things. It circulates between these three areas in a sub process called nitrogen cycle. So the process that it will circulate will be called nitrogen cycle. So let's look for the nitrogen cycle. Okay, let's look for the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle will look like this. Okay, will look like this. So this is a diagram. In here you see this is atmosphere. Okay, this atmosphere. First, you should remember that there is an atmosphere. In the atmosphere, this nitrogen is 1, 2, 3. These nitrogens are present in the atmosphere. These nitrogens are present in the atmospheres. Okay, in the atmosphere, in the airspace means. Okay. So first things to be remembered will be you should follow this arrow direction. Okay, this is atmosphere, and this nitrogen is present. So follow this direction, this arrow. So nitrogen fixation or occurs. Nitrogen is being put into the ground. Into the soil. Nitrogen is being put into the soil. Nitrogen is being fixed into the soil. Okay, nitrogen is being fixed into the soil. So as you see for this arrow, nitrogen is placed into the soil. So this is the layer of soil. Okay, this is the layer of soil. After the nitrogen is being put into the soil, it will appear like this, and bacteria that is present in the soil will meet for the nitrogen. Okay, and that nitrogen is called nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, nitrogen fixing bacteria is what? A kind of bacteria that's present in the soil. So after nitrogen is placed or put into the soil, the bacteria that's present in the soil will combine or will react with the nitrogen, or will involved, the nitrogen that's put into the soil, and the result will be follow this direction. Root absorption is there is a plant that are located in the soil. So this is a plant, and this plant will absorb, as you see for this root absorption. This plant's root will absorb the nitrogen. Okay. After this plant is absorbed, this nitrogen, this plant absorb this nitrogen, it grows up. This plants will grow up. Okay, because nitrogen is the element, is the only element is that is formed, or that is the main element is which is formed a protein. Okay, and protein is what? The definition of protein is what? The primary important growth of any living things. So root absorption. This plant root will absorb this nitrogen. After this nitrogen is being absorbed from the root of this plant will grow. And this plant, after this plant is being grown, this is an animal, and this animal will consume it. This animal will make consumption of the plants. Okay, this is an animal, it will consume this plant. It will feed means, okay, or it eats this plants. This animal eats the plants or consume or uses these plants. This animal, after this animal feed these plants, this animal might die. Okay, this animal might die. As you look for this animal might die, and also the plant itself might die, as this arrow indicates. Okay, look this arrow. These plants will die, as appears here. Follow this arrow. These plants will die. Some of the plants will be consumed or feeding with this animal, and this animal itself will die, as followed in here. And before it dies, it will excrete some. So the plants that absorb, the plant's root that absorb the nitrogen will be categorized into two. Will be categorized or will be classified into two main. So some of it will be consumed this animal. Some of it will be die. Okay, some of it will be die. After it dies, it goes to the soil. It goes to the soil, and this animal will also die. After this animal also will die, and also it goes into the soil. So this die, it means, or this death indicates that the plant is death, and also this animal is death. So after this, before this animal is dead, it has an excretion, or it excretes, or it produces waste substance. Okay, it produces waste substance, which is feces or stool. So this animal is, when this animal produces stools, even this waste product will be got into the soil. So now there is three combined substances that are goes into the, what's so called, the soil. The waste products that are excreted by this animal will be placed into, or will be put into the soil. The animal that's being dead also will be put into the soil. The plants which that's also put into the soil. So these three will be decomposers. Will make decomposers. Will make some bacteria which will be decomposed it. And then the nitrifying bacteria will meet for all these decomposed elements, all this decomposed substance, all this decomposed things will meet the nitrifying bacteria, and this nitrifying bacteria will be produced out of the soil, and the nitrification bacteria will be sent to the nitrogen into the atmosphere again, as follow this arrow, atmosphere into. So this will come into the atmosphere, this will come into the atmosphere, and also the life cycle will be starting like the previous one. So in here, if you indicate for this arrow, also this arrow, after decomposing, some of the decomposer will be reused by the plants. So that's the brief explanation. This is the brief explanation is for the nitrogen cycle, as the name indicates. So our lesson of today will be stopped here. I will be there, inshallah, and I wish you better, and inshallah health safe. Okay, Ramadan Mubarak, inshallah.